Hi, my name's Dina and I'm the violin doc. Today I'd like to talk with you about how to connect with your audience. It is so important as a musician of any kind to be able to connect with their audience because why are we going to get up on a stage and perform whatever kind of music we are performing? Like, what's the purpose? You have to ask yourself. I would hope that part of your purpose would be to touch your audience, to give them something, because you never know who you have sitting out in that audience, in those chairs, that really needs what you have to give as an artist. Whatever your genre of music may be. It can be anything. So that is something that is of utmost importance for me as a performer. I think it is extremely important to think about how I want my audience to receive what I am trying to give them, because I sit here in my studio and I practice and practice and practice and think. But when it comes down to it, yes, it is about us getting better with our technique and things like that. But ultimately, our goal as musicians should be to communicate something to our audience. So today I ask you, how do you connect with your audience? This is a story that I want to share. It's a true story and it's happened many times, but it's something that has stuck with me for many years. This is how important it is to know what you want to communicate to your audience, okay? So this was probably 15 years ago, maybe. I played in a church service, which is something I've done my entire life. My parents were music ministers in a church, and so I would get pulled in to do all kinds of stuff. You name it, I've done it. And I've also done things outside of church music, of course. But on this particular occasion, I performed a piece that most violinists will know, Meditation by Thais. And that piece has a special meaning for me as a person. Like, it's just a gorgeous, touching piece. It really, I don't know, something about it really resonates with me, okay? So for me, that day, I was feeling like, and I thought of the word, like you have to think, and that's what we're going to get to, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought of what I wanted to communicate in my head. I went, okay, I want these people sitting in this church to feel healing. That was the word I chose, okay? And so I played and I just kind of felt that. And I, along with all the technique, obviously, right? It's not just like how you feel is how you play. No, obviously within the context of the piece, I made those things come to life with my phrasing, with my dynamics, with my vibrato, with various technical things, right? But it carried emotion, which is very difficult to describe. But after I played that day, an older man came up to me. He was probably in his 70s, I would guess. And he thanked me for playing, and I was like, "Oh, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. I love to do this." And he said, "No, you don't understand. My wife of, I think he said like 50-something years, passed away 3 months ago. And since she's passed, I haven't been able to grieve. I've felt numb. And today, when hearing you play that piece, I cried for the first time since she passed. I cannot tell you what an impact that made on me as a human being to know that something I did affected someone so profoundly that they could begin to feel like they're healing from that hurt, from that loss. And we can all identify with that. We can identify with pain, with joy, with things in between those things. We can. And so that is why it is extremely important to know what you want to communicate with your audience, because believe me, they feel it. They do. So if you have an unclear idea of what you want to communicate, that is what's going to come out. They're going to be like, "Oh, that was a nice performance," but nothing is going to grab them, okay? So this is what I tell my students, and this is what I practice for myself. When I have any sort of piece of music It can be on my violin, my piano, my viola, my singing, whatever. I think to myself, okay, what do I feel like this piece is saying? And this is how I connect it. Number one, an image. Maybe you're an image person, maybe you're visual, you imagine better. What image does this evoke for you? Okay. Number two, do you have a word that you feel like describes this that you connect with? Okay. Number three, is it an emotion that you're connecting with instead? So you have many avenues in which you can connect, but you must connect. You can't, it's not optional. It's really not optional. So my challenge to you this week, as you're going through your pieces, whatever they may be, you may think they're simple, who cares what they are? No, it really does matter. It really does. My challenge to you is to figure out what you think that is for the music you are playing or singing or whatever you're doing. Because you're going to add that layer that it's almost indescribable, but it's there. And I know you know what I'm talking about if you're a musician. Or even if you've attended many concerts, you felt that, okay? So that's my message for today. Hopefully that gets you thinking a little bit and inspires you. And I'll talk to you soon.